In every corner of the world, there are secrets. Stories that exist beyond logic, beyond reason. Stories that don't want to be understood, only experienced. Tonight, we return to those places. Places where space bends, where shadows are alive, and where darkness never truly ends. Welcome to Dynamic Dark. Welcome to a brand new horror episode. Welcome to episode 79. Welcome to season 2 of Dynamic Dark. I'm Aditya, and today I bring you 3 terrifying haunted stories. New stories, new week, new fear. In our last episode, episode 78, we explored haunted Indian horror tales that left many of you unsettled. If you missed it, the link is in the description below. Make sure to check it out. And now, let's begin episode 79. If you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you dare to see what comes next. Tonight, we'll explore 3 chilling stories, each one more disturbing than the last. The first story is Shadow Origins. The second story is Silent Streets. And the third story is Nocturnal Chronicles. If you love horror like this, then you're in the right place. Because only on Dynamic Dark will you experience classic creepypasta style horror, blended with psychological fear and haunting, unexplained darkness. For the best experience, put on your earphones or headphones. Let the silence, the suspense, and the shadows consume you. And if your room lights are on, turn them off for a more cinematic and terrifying experience. Now, let's begin today's first story. Shadow Origins. The forest was alive in darkness, yet strangely silent. Every sound seemed swallowed by the thick, misty air, as if the trees themselves had a heartbeat. The trunks twisted unnaturally, their shadows stretching like long, grasping fingers across the foggy ground. Each step you took seemed to echo, and then vanish, leaving only your own racing heartbeat. A faint, barely visible path led deeper into the unknown. The further you walked, the more the forest seemed to bend around you, the branches curling closer, scraping at your clothes, your skin, almost as if warning you or daring you to go further. In the corner of your vision, movement. Just a flicker. A black ghost slipped behind a tree, its shape undefined, shifting like smoke, and vanished the moment you tried to focus on it. A cold shiver ran down your spine. You quickened your pace. But the mist seemed to follow, curling around your feet, climbing higher like tendrils, closing in. The silence was deceptive. Faint whispers drifted through the fog, indecipherable, echoing as if bouncing off invisible walls. Your senses sharpened. Every rustle, every crack of a branch, every distant groan of wood under the weight of shadows felt amplified. The forest seemed alive, breathing, waiting. A distant figure appeared, or maybe it was only a trick of the mist. Another black ghost, this one taller, moving between the trees with gliding, unnatural steps, eyes faintly glowing in the darkness. You froze, realizing it wasn't just watching, it was learning your rhythm, tracking your every movement. Your heartbeat thundered as the mist thickened. Shapes emerged at the edge of your vision, twisting, flickering, indistinct but undeniably there. And the path, the one you thought was leading you forward, seemed to shift subtly, stretching longer, turning sharper, drawing you deeper into the forest's grasp. You feel it now. A presence. Not just in the trees, but all around you. The black ghosts are not alone. Something ancient waits beyond the fog, patient, silent, unseen. And with every step, the forest tightens its grip, and your fear grows, clawing at your chest. You glance back for reassurance, but the way you came is gone, swallowed by mist and darkness. Only the faint path remains, leading you onward, into a nightmare that feels as real as the cold biting your skin. And somewhere, just beyond the trees, a black shadow moves again, gliding, observing, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. Footsteps echoed softly, though no one was behind you. The forest seemed to swallow every sound, amplifying only your own heartbeat. Leaves rustled unnaturally, whispering like voices carried from nowhere, brushing past your ears, tickling your skin, leaving goosebumps in their wake. And then, movement. A black shadow darted between the twisted trunks, humanoid, its eyes glowing faintly like tiny embers in the fog. It stopped just long enough for you to feel its gaze before vanishing into the mist. Every instinct screamed, turn back, but curiosity tugged relentlessly, pulling you forward. From the fog, a figure emerged, Arin, a young man in his early 20s, tall, wearing a dark jacket and hiking boots, cautious but determined. He paused, scanning the path ahead, his flashlight cutting a narrow beam through the dense mist. He muttered under his breath, I thought this trail was abandoned. But why do I feel like I'm not alone? As he stepped closer, the ground beneath him seemed to shift subtly, leaves curling around his feet. Shadows stretched unnaturally from the trees, stretching toward him, watching. Another black ghost glided silently behind a thick oak, almost stalking his movements, then disappeared as he blinked. Arin froze, clutching his flashlight tighter, his breath visible in the cold air. The mist thickened, curling around him like fingers, whispering in tones only half heard, half imagined. Every few steps, he stumbled across strange marks in the soil, footprints that weren't his own, leading deeper into the unknown. The black ghosts moved in peripheral glimpses, just outside the beam of his light, teasing, observing. They didn't attack yet. But their presence pressed on him like a weight, and the forest itself seemed alive, leaning closer, bending paths, hiding exits, testing his resolve. A sudden gust of wind scattered dry leaves in all directions, and Arin flinched as shadows flickered and merged into a single dark mass. The faint glow of eyes appeared just at the edge of the path, vanishing before he could fully see it. Heart pounding, he swallowed hard, muttering, I need to keep moving. I can't stop now. As he advanced, every rustle, every creak of a branch, every whisper felt amplified, a warning, a lure, and a test all at once. The black ghosts lingered, watching, following, always just out of reach, ensuring that curiosity and fear were perfectly balanced. Arin pressed on into the mist, unaware that the forest had already decided he was a part of its story. And as the shadows lengthened, twisting around the path ahead, the first signs of the forest's true guardians, the black ghosts, made themselves known, patient, silent, and ever watchful. The path ended abruptly, and there it was, a cabin, old and broken, seemingly abandoned for decades. The wood was blackened with age, windows shattered, and doors hung from rusted hinges, swaying slightly in the cold night breeze. The mist curling along the ground clung to its walls, giving the structure an almost breathing presence. Arin stepped closer, flashlight trembling slightly in his hands, casting narrow beams over the cracked walls. Every instinct screamed to turn back, but curiosity pushed him forward. As he neared the doorway, the faintest sound reached his ears, a whisper, barely audible, yet chilling enough to make his skin crawl. Inside, shadows pooled unnaturally in the corners, stretching across the floor like thick ink. They seemed alive, forming the vague, distorted faces of lost travelers, frozen in silent screams. Arun froze, his breath visible in the icy air, realizing the cabin held more than memories. It held something that didn't belong to this world. A black ghost lingered in a corner, its form humanoid but undefined, eyes glowing faintly like embers. It simply watched him, smiling without expression, unmoving yet impossibly present. Every time Arun blinked, it seemed to vanish, but when he refocused, there it was again, closer, just at the edge of the flashlight's beam. The floorboards creaked under his feet as he slowly moved forward, the cabin groaning as if reacting to his intrusion. Shadows flickered across the walls with the movement of mist, stretching and twisting unnaturally, as though trying to reach out and touch him. Another black ghost darted behind a broken shutter, merging seamlessly with the darkness. Arun's heartbeat thundered in his chest as whispers grew louder, echoing off the walls. Objects inside shifted slightly. A rocking chair tilting, papers fluttering, a faint outline of a door slamming, but every time he turned to check, nothing was there. The cabin seemed alive, breathing, observing, playing with his senses. He took a hesitant step backward, realizing the cabin wasn't just a place, it was a trap. The black ghosts circled silently, appearing briefly at every corner, vanishing when he looked directly. The mist inside thickened, curling like tendrils around his feet, and the air grew colder, pressing against him like invisible hands. Arun swallowed hard, gripping his flashlight tightly. I shouldn't be here, he whispered, voice trembling, yet he knew turning back wouldn't be simple. The cabin had already claimed his attention, and the shadows were determined to ensure he couldn't leave without noticing them. Every instinct told him to flee, but part of him couldn't stop observing. The black ghosts, the faces in the shadows, the unnatural movement of mist and air. And in that moment, Arun realized the cabin wasn't haunted by spirits alone, it was haunted by the forest itself, alive and patient, waiting for the next lost wanderer. Beyond the broken cabin, the path narrowed and disappeared into darkness. A gaping cave opened before Arun, yawning wide as if it were swallowing the moonlight itself. The entrance felt alive, cold air exhaled from its depths, carrying whispers that seemed to originate from nowhere and everywhere at once. Arun stepped cautiously inside, each footstep echoing unnaturally, bouncing off walls that twisted and curved in ways that didn't make sense. Shadows crawled along the jagged rock surfaces, stretching across stalactites and uneven floor like creeping fingers. Black ghosts moved independently within the mist, some gliding along walls, others along the ceiling, occasionally disappearing into the darkness as soon as he looked directly at them. The air inside the cave grew colder with every step. Arun's flashlight cut narrow beams through the oppressive blackness, illuminating fleeting glimpses of shapes. Indistinct figures that twisted, shifted, and merged with the shadows. Whispers rose louder, almost speaking in a language he couldn't understand, echoing back in distorted tones that made his skin crawl. As he ventured deeper, the cave seemed to stretch unnaturally, walls bending as if the earth itself were alive, watching, testing him. The black ghosts appeared in his peripheral vision repeatedly, gliding closer, then melting back into the shadows, never fully revealing themselves, but always present. Their faintly glowing eyes reflected briefly on wet rocks, making him flinch involuntarily. The mist thickened and swirled, reacting to his movements as if alive. Footprints appeared behind him that weren't his own, some vanishing mid-step. The whispers intensified with the rhythm of his heartbeat, following him, surrounding him, pressing against his senses. Arun realized the forest, the cabin, and now the cave were all connected, alive, sentient, and unwilling to let him leave. At one point, he turned a corner in the cave, and a black ghost hovered directly in front of him for a heartbeat, staring silently. Its form was humanoid but amorphous, eyes faintly glowing, lips curling into a smile without expression. It vanished the instant Arun blinked, leaving only the curling mist and the echo of whispers behind. His chest tightened. Fear and awe intertwined as he understood that he was now part of the cave's story, every shadow, every whisper, every ghostly movement watching, waiting, testing him. With every careful step, the cave seemed to fold around him, paths twisting impossibly, black ghosts appearing just at the edge of vision, and the forest beyond reminding him that some places were not meant to be left behind once entered. At the very heart of the cave, the jagged walls opened into a wider chamber. On the ground, stones formed a perfect circle, etched with strange, ancient symbols that pulsed faintly in the dim light. The air grew colder with every step, thickening as if it were alive, pressing against Arun's chest. The mist swirled unnaturally here, curling and twisting like tendrils, and from the shadows, the black ghosts began to gather. Their forms merged with the darkness, creating shapes so strange and humanoid that it was almost impossible to comprehend. They glided silently, their faintly glowing eyes flickering in and out of view, surrounding Arun from all sides. A low, deep humming filled the chamber, vibrating through his bones, echoing off the walls, growing louder with each heartbeat. The shadows of the ghosts danced along the walls, sometimes appearing to form faces, other times like hands reaching for him. Every instinct screamed danger, yet Arun couldn't look away. He felt drawn toward the circle as if it were alive, calling him. As he stepped closer, the mist thickened further, curling around his legs, shifting with the ghost's movements. The symbols on the stones pulsed faintly in rhythm with the humming, casting airy light across the chamber. Arun realized the black ghosts weren't just haunting. They were performing something, a ritual older than memory itself, bending the very forest around them. The floor seemed to shift subtly beneath him, the stones vibrating lightly. One ghost hovered directly above the circle, stretching impossibly, eyes glowing brighter than before, and in a blink, it vanished, only for multiple shadows to appear behind him, circling, watching. The air was heavy, thick with power and presence, and every movement felt amplified. Arun's breath came in short gasps as he felt the forest, the cave, and the shadows all alive in one synchronized heartbeat. The black ghosts, now countless, seemed almost sentient, testing him, daring him, their shapes merging with the darkness and mist to create a living, breathing dimension of shadow and fear. He realized then, this circle was not just a place. It was a portal into another layer of the forest's consciousness, a place where darkness wasn't just around him. It was alive, aware, and waiting. And the black ghosts were its guardians, its soldiers, ensuring no intruder could leave unmarked by the experience. You spin to run, but the path you came from has vanished. The forest has shifted, twisting into an impossible maze. Trees stretch unnaturally, their trunks bending like fingers, fog curling and thickening around your legs. The air grows colder, heavier, pressing against your chest with every frantic breath. Behind you, black ghosts glide silently, always just out of reach, vanishing when you glance back but appearing again at the corner of your vision. Their faint glowing eyes pierce the mist, tracking your every step, merging with shadows, indistinguishable from the darkness itself. Every heartbeat pounds louder, echoing through your ears as if the forest itself is synchronized with your fear. Aryan stumbles over twisted roots, stumbling into patches of mist that cling to him like living fingers. The ground shifts subtly underfoot, almost as if the forest floor is aware of his panic. Shadows twist ahead, forming vague humanoid shapes, sometimes merging into one larger presence that seems to block the way forward, only to vanish when approached, leaving an impossible, shifting path. A distant hum rises, low and resonant, vibrating through the trees and walls of the cave you just left. The black ghosts begin to gather, forming swirling patterns, moving like liquid shadows, circling him with calculated patience. Each step Aryan takes, the mist and shadows shift, creating illusions of walls, doors, and dead ends, amplifying disorientation and fear. Panic grips him, yet he forces himself onward, navigating the maze of fog, twisted roots, and shifting shadows. The faint outline of the ritual circle flickers ahead in the mist, a reminder of the place that has bound him into this nightmare. Another black ghost emerges directly in his path, towering, amorphous, eyes faintly glowing. But as he lunges forward, it dissolves into the mist, leaving only cold air and the echo of its presence. Every instinct screams to flee, but the forest refuses release. Paths vanish and reappear, shadows stretch to block him, and whispers echo in every direction. Aryan's flashlight flickers, revealing glimpses of moving figures, the shapes of black ghosts multiplying with every step. His pulse races, his breaths shallow, yet forward is the only choice. The forest, cave, and shadows converge into a single living nightmare, ensuring he cannot leave unmarked by the experience. Finally, he emerges onto uneven ground, gasping, heart hammering. The mist begins to thin, but the forest still watches, stretching shadows just beyond his vision. He realizes, shadow origins never truly lets go. The forest, the cave, the ritual, they wait for the next lost traveler, and the black ghosts silently guide the way. The second story is Silent Streets. The city slept, but some streets never did. Narrow alleys twisted unnaturally, litter scattered like forgotten memories, and the dim glow of street lights flickered intermittently, casting long, jagged shadows. A soft humming echoed from nowhere, vibrating lightly through the air, sending chills down Lena's spine. Lena walked cautiously, her footsteps muffled by the scattered debris, her backpack brushing against the walls as she navigated the maze-like streets. Every instinct told her to turn back, but curiosity, and perhaps a strange sense of adventure, pushed her forward. From the darkness, a black ghost emerged briefly, gliding along the brick walls, its humanoid silhouette merging with shadows, faint glowing eyes appearing only at the corner of her vision before vanishing when she looked directly. Lena's heart thumped faster as she tried to focus, but the ghost was already gone, yet the sense of being watched never left her. The alleys twisted further, seemingly bending in impossible ways. Trash bins toppled as if nudged by invisible hands, shadows stretched unnaturally across brick walls, and the humming grew louder, echoing off the buildings. Another black ghost appeared, skimming along the fire escape above her, reflecting faintly in a puddle before melting into darkness. Lena's flashlight flickered, cutting narrow beams through the foggy haze that had begun to settle over the streets. The black ghosts moved independently, sometimes merging with walls, sometimes gliding just above the ground. Every time she blinked, their positions shifted, creating the sense that the city itself was alive, aware of her presence. A sudden wind whistled through a narrow alley, carrying a whisper that sounded like words she couldn't understand. The black ghosts multiplied, their forms stretching along walls and corners, dancing in and out of her peripheral vision. Each step Lena took, the streets seemed to rearrange subtly, guiding her deeper into the maze, every shadow holding the threat of something unseen. She stopped at a corner, holding her breath. A black ghost materialized directly in front of her, humanoid but amorphous, eyes glowing faintly. She instinctively stepped back, and it vanished instantly, leaving only the echo of the humming and the faint smell of wet bricks. Lena realized these streets were never empty, they were alive, haunted by shadows that never let go of anyone who wandered too far. Every alley held a secret, every corner a lurking black ghost, and every echo a reminder that the city never truly slept. And tonight, Lena was just another visitor in the silent streets. A maze of shadows, whispers, and restless darkness. You wander deeper into the alley, leaving the flickering street lights behind. The city seems to exhale a heavy, unseen breath. Shuttered shops line both sides, windows smashed, signs swaying gently in the wind, creaking like whispering voices. Inside, objects shift subtly, books topple, bottles roll, a chair tilts, yet no one is there. Something is rearranging the space, unseen but deliberate. Lena's flashlight cuts narrow beams through the foggy alley, illuminating the graffiti-stained walls and puddles reflecting distorted shadows. Every so often, a black ghost silhouette appears, gliding just above the ground, merging with the shadows of broken walls, corners, and debris. Their humanoid forms are indistinct, edges blurred with mist, eyes faintly glowing at the corner of her vision. Every time she looks directly, they vanish, leaving only a cold presence behind. She passes a row of abandoned shops, the smell of damp and decay thick in the air. A ghost hovers near a doorway, stretching unnaturally before melting into the darkness. Objects inside jostle as if nudged by invisible hands. The floorboards creak in impossible rhythms, and the shadows along the walls twist like living fingers. The city seems alive here, aware of her every step. A distant hum rises, low and resonant, echoing across the empty street, vibrating through her chest. Another ghost glides across a broken window, briefly reflecting in a puddle, and disappears when she blinks. The shadows seem to stretch unnaturally along the alley, elongating to block her path, then reforming elsewhere. Lena's heart pounds as she moves cautiously, flashlight flickering, mist curling around her legs like tendrils. The alley bends, seemingly shifting, making the same streets look different with every step. Black ghosts appear near shop corners, behind toppled signs, along fire escapes above, their faintly glowing eyes following her relentlessly. Every door seems to whisper, every broken window reflects something alive just at the edge of vision. She stops briefly, listening, a subtle rustle, a faint whisper, then a figure emerges directly ahead, amorphous and towering, yet indistinct. She freezes, flashlight shaking in her hands. It hovers silently, pulsing slightly with the soft hum, then dissolves into the mist. Yet more shadows move along the walls, creeping silently, multiplying, making the city feel infinite, a maze without escape. Lena takes a deep breath, forcing herself onward, each step careful yet tense. She realizes the abandoned streets, the shops, the shadows, they are all extensions of the same urban haunting, black ghosts acting as silent watchers, testing, tracking, and guiding her deeper into the maze. By now, the fog thickens, The street lights flicker more sporadically, and every corner could hide another black ghost. Objects move subtly as she passes, shadows curl around walls, and faint humming resonates with every heartbeat. The abandoned shops, with their broken windows and toppled signs, feel like a portal into another layer of the city's consciousness, a dark, alive space that refuses to let any visitor leave untouched. Lena walks on, flashlight flickering, black ghosts stalking silently, shadows twisting unnaturally, mist curling, and the city alive with unseen presence. Every step, every sound, every flicker is a reminder, silent streets never truly sleep, and tonight, she is part of their haunting. A single street light flickered above, its weak yellow glow barely cutting through the night. Lena paused, flashlight trembling in her hands, as the light hummed softly, then abruptly went out, plunging the alley into absolute darkness. The mist that had been curling along the walls thickened, curling around her legs like living tendrils. Whispers emerged from the silence, too close, yet impossible to locate. Her heartbeat quickened, each footstep echoing off the brick walls. From every corner, black shadows shifted, gliding along walls, leaping from puddle reflections, merging with broken doorways, and slipping across rooftops. Some lingered for a moment, humanoid but amorphous, edges blurred, faintly glowing eyes flickering at the edge of vision before vanishing. The alley itself seemed alive, stretching and bending unnaturally, creating new corners and dead ends as she moved. A soft wind carried the sound of distant metal creaking, and the faint hum deepened, vibrating through her chest. Each flicker of her flashlight revealed fleeting glimpses of the black ghosts, watching, waiting, silently stalking, then disappearing when she blinked. She tried to follow the path forward, but shadows stretched to block her, curling unnaturally around street signs, trash bins, and fire escapes. One ghost emerged above her on the fire escape, its form merging with the darkness of the railing, eyes glinting faintly, before it dissolved into the mist. The whispers grew louder, echoing from all directions, as if the alley itself was communicating, guiding her deeper into the maze of darkness. Every step Lena took, more shadows appeared, moving independently of each other, some multiplying in the corners, some sliding along walls, all subtly shaping the alley to disorient and trap her. The black ghosts were not just following, they were reacting, merging with the environment, testing her resolve, and ensuring that the streets themselves felt alive, menacing, and inescapable. Finally, the alley twisted sharply, and a flickering streetlight revealed a narrow passage ahead, the first sign of potential escape, but Lena knew instinctively that these streets never truly let anyone go. Every shadow, every whisper, every flicker of light was part of a larger maze, and the black ghosts were the guardians of its secrets. Lena reaches a crossroad where the city itself seems to hesitate. Street signs hang crookedly, pointing in impossible directions. One arrow bends upward, another twists back toward itself, as if the streets no longer obey logic or space. Every road looks the same to Lena. Same cracked asphalt. Same flickering lights. Same endless darkness stretching forward. She takes one step, and the echo of her footsteps returns from the wrong direction. A cold wind brushes past her face, carrying a low, distant hum. Not mechanical, not human. It feels like the city is breathing around her. From the corners of the streets, black ghosts begin to move. Not rushing. Not attacking. They glide silently along walls, lamp posts, broken signals. Their forms stretching, thinning, melting into shadow. Lena catches the faint glow of their eyes only when she looks away. One ghost drifts ahead of her, pausing at the mouth of a street. Another slides behind, sealing the way back. Above her, on rooftops and fire escapes, more shadows gather, watching Lena in complete silence. She realizes something disturbing. They aren't hunting her. They're guiding her or trapping her. The street signs creak and slowly rotate on their own, rearranging directions, rewriting paths. The road beneath Lena's feet feels longer with every step, while the street she came from fades into darkness behind her. A sudden flicker, and for a brief moment, Lena sees the truth. Walls pulsing faintly, shadows crawling like veins. The city alive, aware of her presence. Her heartbeat pounds in her ears. Fear wraps tightly around her chest. The black ghosts drift closer now, surrounding the crossroad, closing every possible escape. Lena understands it too late. This city doesn't trap people with chains or walls. It traps them with fear, confusion, and choice. And at this crossroad, every choice leads Lena deeper into the dark. New moon symbol night with stars. Lena reaches the rooftop. The skyline is wrong, buildings stretch unnaturally. Below, black ghosts glide across streets and rooftops, watching her. Lena understands there's no escape. Only endless surveillance by the silent streets. Smiling face with horns, night with stars. Lena tries to run, but every alley loops back. Shadows grow thicker, tangible. Black ghosts emerge in every corner, watching her, smiling without faces. She realizes some streets are alive. Tonight, she belongs to them. Smiling face with horns, night with stars. And the third story is Nocturnal Chronicles. Kai, a curious urban explorer, walks the sleeping city streets. Mist shimmers faintly around him, every corner hiding secrets. From the shadows, a black ghost glides silently, merging with the fog. He feels watched from everywhere and nowhere. Milky Way back. Kai steps into a narrow alley where every sound echoes distorted. Each footstep multiplies unnaturally. Shadows twist along the walls. A black ghost emerges, its hollow eyes locking onto Kai before vanishing silently. Milky Way back. Kai climbs to the rooftops, seeking perspective. The skyline stretches endlessly. Black ghost figures dart across other rooftops, some following, some vanishing. Always watching. The city has become a living labyrinth. Milky Way back. Kai steps into a hidden courtyard through a twisting alley. Moonlight barely pierces the thick fog, revealing statues with empty eyes. Shadows slither along walls, forming fleeting shapes. Black ghosts multiply, emerging from every corner, circling, observing, predicting his every move. Milky Way back. Kai descends into streets that weren't on the map. Buildings loom impossibly tall, alleys twist unnaturally, air hums with whispers. Black ghosts appear in mirrors, puddles, and reflections, vanishing when he looks directly. He realizes the night itself is alive, feeding on fear and curiosity. Milky Way back. Kai tries to escape, but the city folds back onto itself. Alleys loop to the same crossroads, rooftops twist impossibly. Black ghosts hover, glide, and vanish, surrounding him from every angle. He realizes some nights never end, and some cities never release those who wander too far. Milky Way back. Nocturnal Chronicles waits for the next lost soul. So that was the end of episode 79 of Dynamic Dark. If these chilling tales and haunted stories made you shiver, tell us in the comments which story kept you awake tonight. The most terrifying comment. I, Aditya, will pin it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications bell so you never miss our next descent into the unknown. And share this video with your friends and family if they can handle the fear. Have a haunted location, creepy encounter, or urban legend to share? Drop it in the comments. The idea with the most likes will be featured in our next episode. Episode 80 is coming soon, where we will dive deep into Indian horror stories, uncover darker mysteries, cursed places, and secrets that linger where the shadows never sleep. Stay tuned, keep watching, and dare to explore the terrifying unknown with Dynamic Dark every episode at 7:45 p.m.